start with like a light little intro,
Okay.
and after that, honestly, wherever your mind takes you, we can go. So
Yeah.
don't worry about me.
Oh wow.
And yeah,
So it's gonna be a conversation, right? Kind of thing.
I mean, I'll ask you a question.
Okay, cool. Because I'm like, I don't know how to prepare.
That's the beauty of this thing.
Right. Just let me know when to go. 2022 was kind of healing time, but it was implementing everything that I had learned during my healing time. So, uh, yeah, that's therapy and going to church and reconnecting with my community or my ecosystem was very, very important. Knowing who was truly there for me and who wasn't, and releasing them in love was really important. Obviously, I'm not a perfect person. There was a lot of bad habits and bad behaviors that I really needed to work on. And it brought me to this very moment where I'm here in front of this camera. So um, it just shows, I would say this year showed the work that I did in 2021. Um, I did the work, and now it's just putting one step in front of the other and walking it out. Loving people fully and knowing that you do not own them. They're their own person with their own thoughts, ideologies, and ideas, and seeing how you guys can run parallel to each other instead of intersecting or crossing over each other's paths or trying to be ahead of one another, but just walking alongside each other and understanding life together and supporting people to the fullest extent um, beyond even sometimes they can see. You get greater understanding of who you are. That comes with maturity. That comes with um, submission under wisdom. That comes with all of those things. So no, I was not the best person to some people. I am a villain in somebody's story, in many stories, um, where I was not at my best and I wasn't at my highest self. But I believe that with a lot of work to myself, by myself, not involving anybody else, not blaming anybody else. I can't blame my parents. I can't blame my dad. I can't blame my grandmother. I can't blame the ex boyfriend. Just taking ownership and knowing what is mine and what isn't mine. And then taking the lessons from that and applying that moving forward is very, very important. It's much easier to then address it as an adult because you have a stronger sense of who you are. And regardless of how they may receive that addressing, there's a freedom that comes with that. And I just always encourage everybody to. There's going to be a point in time where you have to address that, whether it be to them directly or to yourself, or if it's not worked on in time, sometimes you're going to have to address that with your children or whoever comes after you generationally. And so just doing that work is really important ahead of time, and just acknowledging that those before us, our matriarchs, our elders, they have gone through a lot as well. And sitting down and having those conversations just gives more grace for understanding instead of having those just negative feelings of anger and resentment towards them. Your body is the barometer for the world around you. And so you need to rest. You need to rest. I do not believe in burnout culture. I don't believe in overworking yourself to get that dollar. Yes, sometimes you have to push in different projects just to get to the finish line, but to be constantly working is a mindset of survival that I had to work to get out of. And I've worked to get out of that. And yeah, I my yeses and my nos are very strong, so I'm able to push back when I'm overworked, starting with myself before anybody else, whether it be a client or a boss or whatever. But yeah, I believe in rest. Rest is the most lucrative thing you could do for yourself, the most lucrative thing you could do for yourself. I had to change myself, and then my business started to evolve differently, and I started to network differently and structure certain things within my business differently. um, I had to really work on my leadership and managerial skills. I had to really hone my documentation skills, all of those things. So just being very clear about that, even entrepreneurship itself is a journey. Yeah, it's you can't be hard on yourself. That self-criticism will happen, but just knowing that it's the perfecting, not perfectionism. That's the key. So yeah, it's my business is me until further notice. If the valuation goes up to like $1 billion and I want to sell it or whatever, but it is me. So I had to change me, and my business changed. At the top of last year, I my business used to be geared towards artist management, and I let all of my artists go. I had a roster of 3. It was a very different type of roster, and that was because I was pivoting my entire business. So as much as I could have kept them, keeping them wouldn't have benefited me or them. Um, I had been running Crown for 6 years by then, and so I brought them exactly to where they were supposed to be, and it was for them to now bloom into more of themselves. And so I had to decide to let them all go. And so any income, any opportunities that were coming from them immediately ceased. And it felt like starting all over again, starting from scratch. I'm proud of my tenacity and my loyalty to myself first before anything else. My determination, my diligence, my ability to try again, and give space for opportunity. And again, lay those defenses down, not automatically getting too defensive to say, oh my goodness, I feel scared. Not giving way to fear. That's like really important. Fear is an illusion. Fear doesn't serve anybody. And just dealing with that head on. Fear is something that you have to face. It's not something that you can cower in the corner. It will overcome you like the darkness.